Hello, dear students. Let us to discuss next topic, chapter number 4. We can say motion in a plane. In previous class, we have discussed about motion in a straight line, means the object which are moving along a straight line. If the object is moving along a straight line, we can represent with a single direction. Here, motion in a plane. And if you want to study the motion in a plane, you have to know some important things, especially scalars and vectors. See, in this picture, all of you know about the direction, geographic directions. We have already used east, west, north, south. Okay. If you are standing in front of map, your right side is east, left side is west, and up one is north and last one is south. So these are the very common directions, and the direction plays very important role in physics. See, now there are some quantities which are having only magnitudes, only values, only numerical values. We can express such quantities in terms of numbers and units, and these are called scalar quantities, and some has both magnitude as well as direction. Those are called vector quantities. For example, if you want to express the mass of an object, we can say it is 5 kg, 2 kg. So only we can express in terms of values. Such quantities are called scalar quantities. And some quantities are meaningless without the direction, and that can be expressed magnitude along with the direction, then only it gives a particular meaning. Such quantities we can say vectors. So in physics we can classify quantities as scalars or vectors. Basically the difference is a direction is associated with a vector but not with a scalar. A scalar quantity is a quantity with magnitude only. For example, you can say distance, time, temperature, speed, mass, energy, etc. See, if you want to express the distance of a place, we can say that place is around 3 km from this place. So like that, there is no need of direction, and even time. Similarly, temperature of a body, we can say it is 40 degrees centigrade, 30 degrees centigrade. So like that, no need of direction. Okay, and these quantities are scalar quantities. Either the quantity may be fundamental quantity or derived quantity, but we can express it in terms of numbers only without the direction. Such quantities are called scalar quantities. Next one, a vector quantity. A vector quantity is a quantity that has both magnitude and a direction, okay, and obeys the triangle law of addition or parallelogram law of addition. Okay, so here the very important thing, the quantity having both magnitude and direction are called vector quantity. And example for vector quantities are displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, momentum, etc. See, we have already discussed in previous topic in one numerical problem distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. If the particle is moving along a straight line, okay, then we are measuring the distance as well as displacement, and distance is the simply path length and displacement is the shortest distance between initial position to the final position. So if the object is moving from A to B 5 kilometer, then we can say the distance is 5 kilometer only, but the displacement is from A to B, because the initial position and the final position both are mentioned here, and from to both are included here. So hence such a quantities are called vector quantities. And velocity, acceleration, force, okay, we are applying 10 Newton force, it is meaningless. We are applying 10 Newton force vertically down, it is meaningful. We are applying 10 Newton force vertically up, it has a particular meaning, because without the direction, without knowing the direction, it is meaningless. Okay, so in physics, scalars and vectors, to know more about scalars and vectors, okay, so you have to give the more importance for scalars and vectors, then only we can easily understand how to calculate the sum of two vectors and sum of two scalars. Okay, scalar has no direction. Suppose there are two objects, one is 5 kg, another one is 3 kg, and we can say the total mass is 5 kg plus 3 kg, 8 kg we can say. See, in the same case, suppose the object starts from A to B 5 meter and from B to C 3 meter, but we can't say the total displacement is 8 meter. Remember, total distance we can say 8 meter, but total distance is not 8 meter. Maybe 8 meter if the object is moving along a straight line without changing the direction, then we can say 5 meter plus 3 meter is 8 meter. But from A to B, B to C, 5 meter and 3 meter, the total displacement is not 8 meter if the direction of first displacement and the second displacements are not same. If both the displacements are in the same direction, then we can say the total displacement is 8 meter. Otherwise, the total displacement can be calculated by using the law of addition of vectors. The importance of law of addition of vectors is how to add two vectors. How to add two vectors. Okay. So now here we can see in this graph there are 2 points P and P dash in xy plane. The given figure is xy plane. There are 2 points P and P dash. Suppose the object initially at P, which is at P, now the position of an object can be represented by the line OP. So OP line indicates the position of P, means at what distance P with reference to O and in which direction that P. Okay. So that arrow mark indicates the direction and the length of the line OP gives the magnitude. So it means, suppose we can say R is the distance, that is OP equal to R, then the position of P is along OP or OP equal to R or simply OP, the line OP along with direction or arrow gives the position of point P. Suppose the object displaced from P to P dash. Now that P dash is the final position, then P is initial position. So P dash is the displacement. P dash is the displacement, and the final position, that is P dash, we can represent with the help of the line OP dash. So in this figure, OP indicates the distance of P from O, and this arrow indicates the direction of P. Similarly, OP dash, the length of the line OP dash gives the distance of P dash from O, and this arrow indicates the direction of P dash with respect to O. Okay. So if you know clearly about the vector, so the position of P is, we can say, OP, vector OP from O to P. The line from O to P gives both magnitude and direction of P. Similarly, OP dash, vector OP dash is the final position, and this final position OP dash, the final position OP dash can be represented as the line OP dash with arrow. Okay. So now the distance along with direction is vector. So now we can say the position of P is vector OP. Then the position of P dash, that is the final position. If the object is displaced from P to P dash, then P dash is the final position, and OP dash, vector OP dash gives the magnitude and the direction of the final position. So now in this figure, if we know the vector OP and vector OP dash, it means the magnitude and the direction of P and magnitude and direction of P dash. But what happens here, that object is displaced from P to P dash. So here what changes we can observe, the position vector is changing. So the initial position vector is OP and now the position vector is OP dash. So therefore the displacement is change in position, that is vector OP dash minus vector OP. So that gives the magnitude and the direction of the acceleration. Is it clear? Okay. So now there are some important note. The magnitude of displacement is either less or equal to the 3 equal to the path length of an object between 2 points. Okay. Next, equality of vectors. Equality of vectors. Two vectors A and B are said to be equal if and only if they have the same magnitude and the same direction. So what it means, if there are two vectors, means one is exactly same as the other. So it means having the same value, both are same value and having the same direction. Then we can say these two vectors are equal vectors. Equal vectors. Is it clear? Okay. So in next class we have to discuss the remaining part of it. Thank you.